Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. Without wasting your time today, we'll be having someone come speak to us on how to turn our waste into cash. I hope you enjoyed this session because I already find it interesting and I hope to enjoy it. So until then, sit back and enjoy the session. Hi everyone. So look who we have here. Mr. Chuma, please can you tell the viewers who you are?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Chuma Onwugbenu. I'm the COO of Trashpays Service Limited. Trashpays Service Limited is a social enterprise that provides technology-driven, innovative waste management solutions to help tackle the environmental and social economic development challenges in Nigeria. We partner with the Ministry of Environment to empower entrepreneurs, waste pickers, and unemployed youths and women to understand the rudiments and the principles of how they can turn waste into wealth for their own self-sustainability and for the betterment of the country, Nigeria. So that's trash space in a nutshell.
Interesting.
Yes.
The interesting part for me is turning waste into cash.
Yes.
I mean, the very first time I heard about, trash pays, I was stunned.
Yes.
Realizing that I could actually make money from waste. I'd like to know how does it work, because that's the most interesting part for me. As a Nigerian, at this time in Nigeria, everyone wants to make money, have an extra income. You understand? So that's the interesting part of it. As much as it's great to help in other ways, but this part is catchy for me, and I'm sure for the viewers. I mean, it's going to do the same. So, can you tell us how you turn trash returns waste into cash, and how the platform works?
Okay. To answer that question, I think I need to give you a little bit of insight into what inspired Trash Space. How did we actually come about, right? So, if you look around you, you see how beautiful the environment is. You get, and unfortunately, there's a lot of commercial activities that goes on a day-to-day basis that tries to take away the cleanliness from our environment. So, in order to help to ensure zero carbon emission, we thought about it that what can we do, to give back to our environment so that we can all remain healthy and live a clean life. That's on the one hand, and on the other hand, right? Nigeria is blessed with a lot of mineral resources that are disguised as wastes, but we discovered that unfortunately we lack this critical infrastructure on how to maximize the potentials of this waste and turn them into cash. There are people on one side that are waste pickers, waste collectors. The other people on the other divide that they have the equipment, they have the machinery, they have the infrastructure, so to speak. They have the know-how on how this can be done. How do you take waste, process it, recycle it, and put it back into the system in such a way that it becomes lucrative and an income generator for stakeholders in that same sector. So Trashpays is now bridging that gap between those who we pick and those who are willing to buy. not just by they have the infrastructure, they have the know-how on how they can make this happen. So it now takes me to how our platform works. So we approach this from, let's say, four different perspectives. One is that we have a digital platform, an online platform that connects these waste collectors, to waste buyers all over the world, in such a way that it enables the commercial activity that will eventually now lead to this, take this waste from one end to another where it's now recycled, and put back into the system, such a way that it benefits the environment. Then, secondly, I already mentioned earlier that we have a strategic partnership with the Ministry of Environment. Yes. So that partnership is such that we have a waste wealth entrepreneurship program that we do, where we now empower, because there's the sector is the waste pickers. That sector, they are largely informal, they're not structured, right? So with this, from this partnership, we're able to now, you know ensure that we empower entrepreneurs, waste pickers, youths and women, using entrepreneurship development principles that is focused on the recycle environment, circular economy, to train them, empower them with, that knowledge, so that's on the second fold. For the third aspect, we have a physical facility where we collect and we process waste and transport them to various companies locally and globally for recycling. So right now, we have arrangements, we have engagements with several waste speakers across the city of Abuja. So they bring this, yes, they bring waste to our facility. We're able to process 100 tons of municipal solid waste on a monthly basis.
Basis. Oh,
Yes.
that's interesting.
Then we transport them out for recycling activities. That's for the third way that we, you know, turn this trash into
Into
cash.
cash.
Yeah. And lastly, we have waste pickup services where we encourage people like yourself, people that residents of Abuja, people that maybe are looking for additional income streams, right?
Yes.
We encourage you to, be conscious enough to understand that, you know this waste can actually answer those your cash problems. So we encourage people to pick this waste and we give them points for doing that. Those points are now cash redeemable. You can get cash for maybe like a batch of waste that you bring to us. We can give you cash for that. So
Oh,
that's how we're able to turn waste
into
into
cash.
wealth, yeah, cash.
Yeah,
and
that
that's
cash
what
part.
and that's what gives back to that name, trash space. We're just trying to
Yeah.
tell you in a nutshell
In a nutshell,
that
what it
trash
does.
pays. Don't just look at it as trash. These are actually mineral resources, that you can utilize to generate income and also to help keep the environment clean.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so well, you just mentioned it because my next question was going to be how it supports environmental goals, but you just wrapped up most of it. So, what impact has trash pays had on the community and environment so far?
Yes. I can still even highlight on how what the environmental goals, will try to help to achieve, right?
Please go ahead.
Because you know that there are a lot of dump sites
Yes.
in Abuja.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of landfills, and even on the streets of Abuja generally, you can see how there are elements of littering that goes on in the city. But because of that, how we've been able to sensitize certain individuals in the system,
On it.
on how they can, turn this so-called waste into cash. Most of those wastes, most of those trash are collected, and they are brought to our physical facility, So by so doing, what we are doing is that we are helping to reduce waste littering in the environment. So that on its own has sorted out an environmental goal as it is.
Exactly.
Yes, that's right. And then to answer your question on what we do to impact the community, Trashpays is part and parcel of the community. We have a lot of we are members and we are partners to a lot of community driven associations through which we are now able to initiate awareness and sensitization programs to youth and women in those communities, on waste management solutions, waste to wealth principles, on what they need to do, and to turn this waste into wealth. Even the traditional rulers have been empowered to the point that they are now conscious enough to have recycle bins,
Wow.
yes, where they strategically situate them or position them in public places
Hmm.
like the markets and the abattoirs.
Hmm.
Yes, so
That's interesting.
that's still on an ongoing basis. So we have beneficiary communities that we go to from time to time, sensitize, their locals, work hand in hand with the traditional rulers to ensure that the community is aware from that perspective. And
Hmm.
we know that with those kind of initiatives, it generally has a way of impacting the country at large.
Is trash pays available in just Abuja or all over Nigeria? Because I mean, in every state in Nigeria, are you guys is the platform working in all the states or just in Abuja?
For now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trashpays is our headquarters is in Abuja. Our
Okay.
physical location is in Abuja,
Okay.
but we have a global mindset. We have
Okay.
a global vision for Trashpays. That's why we utilize the digital and the online platform to reach out to other stakeholders in the sector.
Oh,
Yes, we
okay.
try to, ensure that there's no limits. So waste management or people or waste, the waste sector is broad,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have metal waste, you have plastic waste, you have glass waste, and all of that. But we try to, focus mainly on plastic waste. But what
Oh,
our
okay.
platform does is that it still works hand in hand with other
Other.
waste
Oh,
collectors
okay.
and
That's
tries to
good.
now create a synergy between them and waste recyclers, waste buyers, companies
Okay.
all over the world. So by so doing, we actually have a global reach, even though we
Oh,
are mainly
yes.
situated in
In
Abuja. Yeah,
Abuja.
but we have a global vision and we have a global reach through strategic partnerships and an
Oh,
online platform.
okay. Talking about the online platform, is there an app for it?
It's an app, yes, it's an app. It's currently being developed, but
Okay.
we've tested it, and what the app does, like I already had said, is more of enabling that whole commercial
Commercial
activity
activities.
between the waste collector and the waste
Okay.
buyer. That's how. Then we also have other um, segments or sections of the app where you can consult us.
Okay.
We can talk on various aspects of waste, know what your interests are, and understand how to guide you better. So it's a robust app.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what it does.
So is it available on Android and
It's on Android for now,
iPhones?
but eventually we'll scale up to other,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
smartphone providers and all that. But for now, it's mainly Android because it's
Okay.
still in the development and test phase.
Oh,
Yeah, so once we're sure that everything works well, then we'll scale up and make it available on other smartphone platforms.
oh,
You
okay.
know,
So Note is for now
mm,
is just available on the Android phones, right? You can
yes,
actually download it
yeah,
on your Android phones.
mm,
That's interesting to know. So,
yeah.
Mr. Chuma, what challenges have you faced and how did you overcome them? I mean, so far, starting this up, because this for me this is very very interesting.
Yeah.
I just know a little about it, but speaking to you now, I'm a lot more knowledgeable about how this works, and it is very, very interesting to me, and I'm sure to the viewers too. So, what challenges have you faced in all of this so far, and how did you overcome them?
Well, the number one challenge and the main challenge is funding.
Sure.
Is funding. Funding is an issue. Nigeria is a cash-driven economy,
Right.
where you need cash to flow on a daily basis for
Basis.
you to make some of these things happen. Because this waste we're talking about, for you need to even buy them as raw materials from the waste pickers, and it takes a lot. So imagine in a situation where on a daily basis for you to generate, let's say even if it's 10 to 20 tons of waste on a daily basis, people need to source them as raw materials and bring them down to your facility. When they bring them down to your facility, now for you to encourage them, you need to pay them for that. Yes.
Yes.
So pay them before you even now start processing, for you to now transport to those recyclers, for you to now make your
Your
own
own money.
money.
Uh,
So you see, it's cash intensive,
yes.
and people who understand how the sector works are willing to invest. Unfortunately, they will not come to a an entity or a country where maybe you don't have the right government policies, you don't have the right institutional frameworks, and the political landscape to actually support that level of investment. You understand? So we are presently suffering that. So we are having to, what's the word? More like just grow on a slow and steady kind of basis, where we're not, as much as we have that capacity to produce 100 and slightly above 100 tons on a monthly basis, it can be more if there was adequate funding. But for us to manage that challenge and manage the resources that we have at the moment, we're taking it at a slower pace
Yes.
rather than what we have preferred to do. Yeah. So that's the situation that we find ourselves in at the moment.
Okay, so any future plans for expanding trash pays and scaling your impact?
Yes,
I mean, there should be future plans
there is.
from what you have said. So we'd like to hear it.
Most definitely, there are future plans, and it all hinges on strategic partnerships, because strategic partnership is key from the perspective of you will leverage on bigger companies, more established companies, to utilize their strengths in order to minimize your own weaknesses. So where we cannot reach, some of those companies can reach. So we intend to partner with government, with private sector organizations and public sector organizations, you know, waste management companies abroad, those recyclers, in such a way that we are able to, we should have the capacity to do 10,000 tons of MSW annually. MSW means municipal solid waste.
Uh,
Yeah, we should be able to have 10,000, have the capacity to produce 10,000 annually of MSW with this strategic partnership. So both local, global partnerships, we are actually working hand in hand with some of, discussions are in place as we speak. Agreements are being signed as we speak. You know, then again, we intend to also leverage technology and you know initiate and design a lot of technology-driven solutions that will enable us, you know, meet the market demands more, enable us empower more people, enable us scale up, and also have a more global reach. And presently, we have actually entered into partnership. I won't be able to mention them just yet until maybe something formal is signed, but we've
okay.
had those discussions with state governments.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
That's
where
nice.
through for our waste to wealth entrepreneurship training program, where we intend to go from state to state, and let's say take like 1,000 youths, unemployed youths, and train them Yes,
That would be
we
nice.
train them on how to turn this waste into wealth. Beyond even just training them, we'll help them to formalize their businesses by registering their business so they can
Oh,
become like an entity that
oh, okay.
will enjoy other financial support and other kinds of assistance from both private and public sector organizations because they are formalized. So at least this will also enable us profile them properly and inculcate them into our robust system of rewarding waste generation. So from those three angles are how we intend to scale up our operations in the nearest future.
Oh, this is really, really interesting and very educative.
My pleasure.
Mr. Chuma, it's very, very, very good to have you here. He's a boss. It's not easy for a boss to, give us his spare time and have us, understand what trash space is all about. I really appreciate you for
Same here.
this time.
Same
Thank
here.
you so much,
My
and thank
pleasure.
you for this opportunity for us to learn and know better. So, before we go off, we would like to know your social media handles.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
or maybe Instagram on X. That's if you're on X, on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah. Trashpays, we're available on Instagram, we're available on Facebook, and we're available
Oh,
on X, yes. And on all those platforms is Trashpays.
no
Trash, no
underscores, no
underscore,
anything.
no, just simply Trashpays.
Trash pays.
Trashpays.
Trash pays.
Trashpays
Okay.
on Instagram, Facebook, and X.
X.
So if you can find us, follow us on that platform for frequent updates, and you can also get our other contact details like our email addresses and our phone numbers
Yeah.
once you're on those platforms. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, Mr. Chuma. Once again, I appreciate you for giving us your time.
My pleasure.
I mean, it's not easy to have. I mean, it's an opportunity. It's a great opportunity. Thank you so so much. So, like I said, Trash P is on Instagram, on Facebook, and on X, formerly known as Twitter. Description. I'm going to put email address on how to reach out to them. And like he mentioned earlier, for now it's just Abuja. So if you're in Abuja, you have to take this opportunity to not miss out on how to make an extra income. And till next time, it's a bye. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chuma.
Thank
Bye
you. Yeah.
bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.